Taylor, it's so good to see you.
It's good to see you too.
It's so good to see you.
Thank you.
It's been, what, a year and a half, I think? So what has been the biggest aha in the last year and a half?
I'm really good at taking naps. I can take naps wherever I'm at. If I have a moment, I can nap.
I learned that I can see a lot in 24 hours from layovers.
Yes.
So I go with my friend, she's my companion, and I go with her everywhere, like everywhere we can go in 24 hours. We just go on Friday and come back Saturday. My mom came with me on Thanksgiving because, you know, like we have to work on holidays sometimes, weekends, holidays, birthdays. Yes. So I just started bringing my mom with me.
Right. You learn to celebrate wherever you're at.
Right,
exactly.
Right. I had Thanksgiving and we're with Palm Beach, Florida.
So tell me about your experience in Detroit. How's it going?
I actually love it. It's really fun. I love my trips. Going to different cities. It's not really like work. I'm still confused on how it's work.
Well, what about Minneapolis? How's that going?
It's great. There's so many different kinds of trips, lots of domestic, but also lots of international, and getting even more in the future. And then just the people themselves are great as well. I think it's a very tight-knit group of people, but I think everyone has each other's back and we look out for each other.
Are you flying any international?
I've done Paris, I've done London. I do like domestic more though.
I think I prefer international, but just being junior, you don't always get international. But actually, I just got back from Paris yesterday.
Wow,
yes,
very
so
nice.
Kind of fun. So I've done Paris, London, and Amsterdam back to back to back, which has been a whirlwind. I get a lot of domestic as well, but again, I look for places that my friends are.
Well, as we look at Delta's core values, there has been so many opportunities for you to display servant leadership on board. Do you remember anything significant that happened this year where you had to step up into that role, even though you're junior flight attendants?
For whatever reason, it seems to be my calling is medical events. So I found myself definitely, stepping up in that situation and kind of taking control of the passenger and just calming them down and the customer and making sure that everyone's safe.
So I know that you're commuting to Detroit.
I am.
And that's a second job.
It is.
So how are you managing the commute process?
So one of the things I was most worried about when we started was the schedule because it's so non-consistent. Commuting takes away from my off days. I have to make sure that the weather's okay. Because if anything happens, first of all, I commute from Atlanta. I book jump seats a lot. I go up the night before.
It's too stressful.
It's stressful. That's a good word for it. And then coming home, sometimes I have to stay, like I'll get back too late to Detroit to come home. So that's another thing I've had to learn to deal with, not being able to come home when I'm off of my trip.
If you choose to commute, does Delta pay for your housing? How does that work?
If you commute and you need to come up the night before or you need to leave the night after, that's your responsibility. So while I'm planning for my trips, I'm also planning for my commuter hotel rooms.
So one of the funny things that people don't know about flight attendants is that they fly around so much, so by the time they have time off, they probably don't want to go anywhere. So what do you do during your days off?
Well, I know that during our time off, maybe sometimes it seems like we don't have a lot of time to do the things that we would like to do. But I recently flew with a girl who had her own clothing business. She had a storefront and she had it online, and she was able to maintain it just fine on her days off.
The flexibility does pay off. It does have the benefit of having more time on your hands.
Right.
What about community work? Is there any opportunities? I know you said your schedule is so random and mine is too, but I always find a way to get into my community because now it gives me, the time off affords me that opportunity. Have you done anything that you feel good about, that you've done lately?
Absolutely. So it's very important to Delta with the community, and I think they do a really great job of letting us know of opportunities. Yes. So there's always a lot of internal emails that are going on of different events in Minneapolis, and we have things coming up. We've done work with Habitat for Humanity.
The neat thing about Delta is that you can live anywhere in the U.S. So it's really just fun to see the fact that you could jump around bases if you wanted to. You talked about a friend who wanted to work his way or her way back to San Francisco, right?
Yes, so both of us came from San Francisco. And for her, although San Francisco is not one of the initial choices we found out, it was available later on. So once she had enough seniority in the company, she was able to transfer back to San Francisco.
Wow. Yeah. And for me, it was a better fit to be in Atlanta because I am a language of destination flight attendant, and Atlanta has a ton of flying to South America and to Spain. So it was really a great fit for me to be in Atlanta. And I have never looked back. I've been based in Atlanta the entire time.
Well, this is such an exciting time for Delta. There's definitely some global expansion, as we mentioned, definitely an emphasis on providing bold hospitality, focus again on customer service. It's also exciting to see what newcomers can bring to the Delta family. Everyone has a story and everyone has different talents that they can provide. And it's going to be nice to be able to have people share that with us.
I'm excited to see the next chapter of Delta Airlines because it's a really great time to come on board and to be part of the Delta family.